2 o'clock. Why does it say upcoming? We should be live. It says live Skywatch. Technically, it's going to be for a storm. 2 o'clock. Okay, I could charge my phone. Why does it say upcoming? We should be live. It says live Skywatch. Technically, it's going to be for a storm. Where's Mom's phone? 2 o'clock. What did I do with Mom's phone? Okay, I could charge my phone. Why does it say upcoming? We should be live. It says live Skywatch. Technically, it's going to be for a storm. Where's Mom's phone? 2 o'clock. What did I do with Mom's phone? Okay, I could charge my phone. Why does it say upcoming? We should be live. It says live Skywatch. Technically, it's going to be for a storm. Where's Mom's phone? 2 o'clock. Call me back on his phone. What did I do with Mom's phone? Okay, I could charge my phone. Why does it say upcoming? We should be live. My plate. Oh, I can't. It says live Skywatch. Technically, it's going to be for a storm. Where's that coming from? It's gotta be YouTube. Where's Mom's phone? 2 o'clock. Call me. Yep. What's up, Julian? I had to jump out the pool because the weather's going to get really bad. All right, let me do these pop-outs. Hi, Nani Gavak. Pop-out chat. What's up again, Bob? So half my lights are busted, but I have a new set over there, but I just haven't had time to do it. Shit is not cheap either. I don't even know where they are. Somebody might have moved them on me. But that's climbing up on a ladder and redoing the whole almost half the room. That's a pain in the... Oh my God. The rest of the room is working, but I'm going to have to redo... I don't even want to think about that right now. All right, I'm not going to worry about this phone stuff right now. Not. Maybe it's time for me to piss myself off with a game. But first, let's look at this radar. It's still a while away. See, their radar, it's actually not that old. It's 3 minutes old. So that's heading my way. That is heading my way. I will say I'm right here. That's where I'm at, right about there. Right about here, actually. So that is all heading my way. But it's moving to the northeast. So what's down here is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm concerned about. This is a future radar. Shows it diminishing. But I don't trust a future radar. Now, if I go to the best app that I have, which is Radar Omega, this is the best. So now let's go to a local Radar in Washington, D.C. That really tells you what's going on. So these storms are probably heading to me. They look like they're weakening a little bit, which is good news. But I'm all the way up here. So I got out of the pool like right in time, because these suckers are coming. Let me look at the Albany loop. So that is as of 1:55. That's right now. That is the latest radar from like right now. That's why I love this Radar Omega, because it's so accurate. Now there are storms to my west, but they're going northeast. This is what I'm looking at coming up toward me. What's down here? Now, here's another indicator with windy, but not their radar. I want to look at their satellite, because you can see the thunderstorm clouds, the tops, right there. So, just from this, I don't see, this is pretty bad here, this cell. I'm not seeing any cells that scare me from the tops. And yes, you can tell. Like this right here shows development. That cell, you could see the cloud tops. But these storms see the moisture starting to stream up. So this is coming. It's right on the doorstep. Now this is 2 minutes ago. So this line is heading to the northeast. This is a bad little cluster, but that's going to go to my south, maybe, and east. Look at all that lightning. They've weakened a little bit, though. They've weakened a little bit. But this cell is tough. And they can reorganize. So that's what I'm going to keep an eye out for. You're hearing thunder over there? Dagger's like, those are nice looking ones. Uh-oh. What is that? I wish that was Walmart so I can get out of the house now. No. Actually, it's a file for the station for tomorrow's show. Let me do that shit now. Get it over with. I don't like to wait. I love it when Jake sends me stuff. Oh, shit. Well, I guess I won't be doing because the file's not working. What the hell is that? We're not worried about that right now. UPS reached an agreement. They're not going on strike. LeBron James' son, Bronny, suffers cardiac arrest during practice. Okay, I'm all caught up. All right. Yeah, the sun is the energy source for a lot of these storms. I'm not going to close the door because Tycho's looking out the door. He's staring outside. This little baby over here. There he is. He's shedding. This is his time of year. See the little white? You don't even know what we're going through with all the hair. You have no idea. And then when I try to pluck it from him, he gets pissed. He does not like that. But I could literally pull that. See those little, like, right there and right. Fuck, I'm trying to figure out how to move my finger. It's not easy. All right, which way do I go? This way? No. Like that one. I'm trying to figure out which way to move my finger. There you go. There's one that I could pluck out if I wanted to. And there's another one. Fuck. It's hard to figure it out. Well, I can just point at it, but it won't be the same. Well, I'm streaming it too. I already got the channel set up for tomorrow. But I've got it coming from the official site of the GOP hearing. And I hope I favorited it because let me go back. What the fuck is that? Why is that in my history? That doesn't make sense. What the fuck is that in my history? Oh, it's not going to show up. That's right. GOP. Oh my God. Oh, there it is. Let's see if it has upcoming. Okay, these are for today. Upcoming, here it is. Right here. I'm going to put a star on this right now. So this is really the official site to watch it. This is the GOP Oversight channel on YouTube. This is where we'll really see everything, not a news nation, not what they're going to say. This is the raw hearing whatever happens. I'm sure they're going to cover it too, but there could be commentary on those news networks. I don't want to hear commentary. I want to hear them. You know what I mean? So I'll put the link in YouTube. But that is the link, the real link. Ha. So that's where you'll see it. You know, like the actual GOP, because it's the House and the Republicans are the ones that are putting this together. Burchett and Luna. So there's the actual link that you could see it tomorrow. So if you're at work, save it. But last night, I don't know if you've seen it, but Chris Mellon was on with Cuomo. And it was pretty damn interesting. If you hear what they said. Cuomo and Chris Mellon. And you know, it's funny because there's so many people out there in the field of ufology that call themselves experts and they know what the hell's going on and they all have opinions, obviously. But do they really, really know? Matter of fact, certain few do. I'm one of those people. Because of the people I have contact with. But I'm actually going to make a call right now, off the record, and find out if I can, because there's something that was said the other day. I gotta mute. That's one. Now I must call the other. I am gonna do it. I wonder what conference call that person's participating in right now. It's all about tomorrow. That's why. Holy shit. All right. Without getting into... What the hell does it say? Cuomo SNF. Without getting into too much quickly on the call. Is that the whole one? That's a cut one. It was on News Nation. It has to be the whole interview. Come on, baby. Come on. These are cut. The original one is 8 minutes long. If I hit this one, maybe it'll open it up. This is a cut version. This is not the entire version. Is that News Nation? Let's go to News Nation. They're cut. Fuck. That sucks. I don't want that. I want the entire interview, which I know where to get it. That's cut. Oh, let me search. Okay, this is it right here. Don't tell me they took the link off.
So, what are we going to get this Wednesday? How should we set our expectations?
This is it.
We have an...
See, they cut the interview. That is not... She put the entire thing on. This, if you have not seen this, you should pay attention to this. And I'm going to watch it again. This was last night.
Exclusive interview with a man who has been really the spark plug, instrumental behind the scenes to bring these witnesses and video evidence forward. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, Christopher Mellon. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And feel free, as always, to push back on whatever doesn't go with your reckoning. And I'll start with a point of potential cynicism or at least skepticism. I think not demanding that NASA be there, not demanding that more big shots from these different departments and programs be there or be held to account for why they won't come should have been a focus. And we're setting ourselves up for disappointment with these hearings. What's your take?
I think there's time to get to that. This is a process. The objective here, I think, and the opportunity is for the American people to come to better understand why it is that so many in Congress actually take seriously the idea that there are UFOs, UAP, that are violating U.S. airspace, and the associated rumor, allegation that we may have in our possession off-world technology recovered from someone else's space program. And those are things that are hard for people to get their minds around. And I think this hearing is an opportunity for the public to hear from naval aviators who are utterly credible, responsible people, to understand what they're experiencing, what they're encountering in the field. And this is happening on a widespread basis. There are hundreds and hundreds of these incidents going on. Dave Grush will also then separately address the recovery issue.
First of all right, let's deal with Grush. Do you think he can name names and say more than he has said publicly before? Do you think any of these guys who are testifying can say more than they already have? I mean, that would kind of be the starting line of these hearings being progress.
I expect Dave will provide some new information that we have not heard before. And Dave has provided specific leads and information and names to the Intelligence Community Inspector General. So Congress needs to get that information from the Inspector General. There are some limits to what he can say by law in open session in terms of identifying other personnel in the intelligence community. He's under a lot of restrictions and oaths, and the laws are very severe. The penalties are very severe if you cross those red lines. So he has to be careful, but he's very forward leaning. I think he will provide new information the public has not heard before. And I think Ryan and Dave Fravor, Commander Fravor, will also help people better understand and appreciate the degree to which this is going on, and the really fundamentally stunning nature of the technology and capability of these vehicles.
So what do you believe that we're dealing with? That they know about equipment and technology from other countries that they have kept secret? Or do you believe that there is any chance that the American government has knowledge of things they believe are not from Earth and they've kept it from the American people?
Now listen to his response.
I've been told that that is the case by several Defense Department officials. I've been
that
told
it's not from this Earth, or they don't know
Yes,
from where it's from on this Earth.
I've been told that we have recovered technology that did not originate on this Earth by officials in the Department of Defense and by former intelligence officials. I've referred some of those officials to the office that's undertaking this investigation. Dave is another one of those individuals. He's decided to go public with his information. So there are credible people, and we have a direct conflict here between what Dr. Kirkpatrick is saying and what these other folks are saying, and Congress is in the middle, and they got to sort it out.
But here's the problem, okay? Now I think you're going to be with me. It is mind-blowing that, not that they would know something like that, but not say anything. I think that would be so reprehensible. It would be such gross malfeasance. I don't care what the law allows in terms of discretion or privacy. To not tell people like that could be such a force for positive change and perspective would be unforgivable. These guys are never going to tell on themselves. You can't expect anybody to come forward from these agencies unless you're going to get like the Secretary of Defense and be like, listen, brother, you know, and now you're going to tell us, or you're not going to be the Secretary of Defense anymore. Doesn't this have to be done by Congress, or God forbid, doesn't this have to be done by some external body, not themselves? Isn't it an obvious determination that they're going to come up saying, yeah, you don't need to know?
Chris. Absolutely agree. This is one of the problems. So this office that is leading the investigation was originally created to organize the collection of information about UAPs and orchestrate a coherent, rational inquiry on the part of the government, not this issue about recovered technology. They added that on later, and now there's a problem because there's an inherent conflict of interest. This is like asking the Reagan administration to investigate the Iran-Contra affair. I think that office can serve a very important purpose in terms of investigating, getting the agencies to share information, collating it, developing collection strategies. When you're talking about investigating this allegation of recovered materials, that's a different matter. And I think Congress has to drive that investigation itself.
I mean, I just think it would be an unforgivable point of discretion for them to not let the American people know something as profound in its implication as the idea that we're not alone. And I'll tell you, it's not that far removed from the idea of, we found a lot of things in technology that that people have, countries have, that is really staggering. And we just haven't told you because we're reverse engineering it and using it for our own purposes. The us and them that we're always seeding in this country culturally, that's an us and them. If you have people who are making those determinations and the American people aren't aware, I think it's a problem. But I know this going into it. Thank you for agitating. I know that you get a ton of shite for what you want to do. And people come after you for being a distraction or for being un-American. I think you're the opposite of both of those things. You're pushing for transparency and you're doing it for the right reasons. I just hope Congress can pick up the ball and carry it effectively.
Congress can do more and better on this. They've done a great job. It's amazing to some degree how far we've come in just a few years.
Right.
But they need to take names. I think they need to call some people in and put them under oath. I think they need to get information from the Inspector General. And if they follow down that path, they will get to the bottom of this. But it is an unprecedented challenge. And we have a very complex legal oversight architecture in terms of security stuff. It's conceivable,
right,
for example, that Congress has already been lawfully informed, but Representative Burchett and others don't know because legally the administration can notify a very small number of people and say it's checked the box. So
right,
there's also a problem with Department of Energy black programs. They get no oversight from Congress, in essence. Right. So
yeah,
there's a lot of work
there are
to
a
be
lot
done.
of. There really is. And look, no matter what the reality is about what they have or don't have, we've got to do better in reshaping the way our institutions work to be more transparent with the people who give them the power in the first place. And that's what I think you're doing at a minimum. So, Chris Mellon, thank you. Let's see where we go Wednesday and, more importantly, where we go after. I'll be back in touch.
So that's interesting what Chris said. There's a few things there. Black projects, the Department of Energy. I already knew about what's going on with the congressional stuff because I know from talking to people that are in contact with congressional members. Also, that supposedly he believes that David Grush is going to come out with something new that the public isn't aware of yet. Now, he's not going to say names and everything else, of course not, because that's a national security issue. But like I said last night when I first showed this video after it had aired on News Nation, simple question. Are the people that you were in contact with, the individuals, have you asked them if they would eventually come forward in a hearing setting? Do you think they're willing to come forward and before Congress? Because it's one thing to say I heard it from this person, that person, this person, that person. It's second hand, third hand, whatever hand. I want to hear it from the people that he claims that he spoke to, and hear it from them. And even if it's a classified setting, show them the information, the documents, the images, the video, whatever. That's where it has to go. So tomorrow is all just about testimony. What Fravor experienced, Graves experienced, and what David Grush has to say. Now, for people that are familiar with the field of ufology, UAPs, whatever, they already know a lot of what's going on in the background. It's not something new. It's more a matter of frustration for the lack of information and transparency. It has nothing to do with we don't know about this. Well, that's what we're trying to get. We want to know more. But for the general public, this could be really extremely interesting for them because they're not aware of this. They don't know what's been going on because they don't care. It's not something that's on their radar. So I hope people see the hearing tomorrow that aren't involved in the interest of ufology. Just people in the public just looking at it for what it's worth, maybe for the first time or the first few times because it's been in the news for the last few years. So maybe there's more people that are developing an interest in it. What? I'm going at Walmart at 4 I want to make tacos tonight.
What are you making tacos? I was going to make rice and eggs and beans.
You could make egg sandwiches for us right now just to hold us down.
All right, I'll make the egg sandwich.
Because I'm making tacos tonight.
Okay.
But it's pretty much setting the stage for what's to come. Because there's more coming. It's just the beginning. somebody said in a chat back a few months ago when I was hinting to people something big is coming in the Washington Post, which it was originally supposed to, but then I even knew the date it was supposed to be released. Because this has been on the works for months. But I couldn't say anything. But if for those that remember, I was hinting about it for weeks before it eventually dropped on the debrief. Remember that? And then it dropped, like I said, on the debrief, and it didn't end up on the post. But there's more. This has all been prepared. These people have already met with congressional individuals. This is not something that is just happening. This has been in the works for months. And the Inspector General, like Rick Rush, is involved. And everything that he said had to go through the proper channels in order for even to say what he said on News Nation. There's certain protocols that he has to follow. It's like when you write a book. The book has to be checked out first if it has any classified information before it's released. It has to go through certain processes. And he did. And he met with Congress officials behind the scenes. So this has been in the works for months. And there are more. This is just the beginning. This is like the first step of probably quite a few to come in the future. And I showed you a document last night. It's 64 pages long. But it's very important that people realize the significance of this document. Because it's important. Why is it important? Because it shows the bipartisan majority are in on this. So when you look at this, look at the names on this amendment. This is going to be an interesting hearing too, because it's bipartisan. They both are going at it. This is like one of the rare times you're going to see them being on the same side. Congress folks, Republicans and Democrats. This is going to be a rare thing to see. That they're not arguing about certain things. They're actually agreeing and challenging. So I'm going to show that document now. This was released last week, I believe. And I'll try to make it a little bigger so you can see it. To provide, and then we'll forget about that, the purpose. Let's just get to it. Now, who do you think is responsible for this bill, this amendment? Schumer, Gillibrand, Democrats, Rubio, and Rounds, Republican. Their names are on this amendment. They're the ones who put this amendment in. So Schumer, Gillibrand, who was one of the ones that were really getting on this with Rubio at the beginning. It was her and him, the two of them, Gillibrand, Rubio, who was really pushing in the beginning. Now Schumer's jumped on the bandwagon. Rounds is involved, and others are involved. So this is bipartisan all the way. But you could find this online. There it is right there. Amendment intended to be proposed by Mr. Schumer, Mr. Rounds, Mr. Rubio, and Mrs. Gillibrand. It's right there. Right there. So it's definitely bipartisan. Now, tomorrow is just a hearing. Legislation needs to be done. This has to be... There's a lot of things that have to happen here first. It's not just simple hearing. There's a lot of steps that have to be taken for more information to be disclosed to the public. It's not going to happen. They have to go through the proper channels. This is also about funding. Money for fiscal year 2024. But they want to also have the ability to declassify certain things so they can be more transparent with the government. This is why when that minister from Canada in the parliament, that letter came out, and he was the one that was transparent, that he wrote to certain people within the Canadian government. it was all about the Five Eyes, which is United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK. How they're all working together on how they're going to go about with disclosure. They're all working together. And since they're all working together, there are people within other governments, politicians, that are just as frustrated dealing with their governments for answers. Because those that are controlling this narrative are people that don't want even their politicians to know what's going on. They don't want to give them no information. They don't want to give them classified information. I don't care if you're in the UK, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, or the United States. They don't want to give their people nothing. And this is part of the frustration, because they're not getting the answers they're seeking. And that's why when Chris Mellon brings up Department of Energy black projects, well, if it's a black project, where are they getting the money from? Where's it being allocated from? And there's no oversight? They have no oversight by Congress? So what does that mean? They get a blank check? What's going on? This is, and Chris Mellon mentioned an analogy, Reagan administration investigating Iran-Contra. There were criminal charges for that. So this is just more than trying to get information. This could be potentially criminal as well. So this is very complex. But they have to go through the legislative branch and pass certain amendments or whatever they're going to do in order to try to become more transparent. And obviously the executive branch has to sign off of it. When you're dealing with classified materials, it's not just simply the president that has, for certain things, that he could just say it's declassified. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. What some people may believe it does. No. For certain materials that are classified, it has to go through a process. And people need to be notified of what's going on for declassification. I cannot just say, oh my God, you know what? I just want to say in my head, these are declassified. Or, okay, they're declassified because I say so. That's bullshit. So people that want to believe that part, that's you're on your own for that. But there is a process when it has to deal with certain materials of classification, certain documentation, especially when you're dealing with nuclear. So this is important. And it's 64 pages. It's available online. I think you can go to houseofrepresentatives.gov. You can download it. They want all records preserved. All federal government records related to unidentified anomalous phenomena should be preserved and centralized for historical and federal government purposes. So they want it all archived. They don't want nothing hiding in the shadows, because they believe that there's stuff going on that they're not even aware of, and they have no information about it, and they want it. All federal government records concerning unidentified anomalous phenomena should carry a presumption of immediate disclosure, and all records should be eventually disclosed to enable the public to become fully informed about the history of the federal government's knowledge and involvement surrounding unidentified. So the fucking history. They want, because we've heard it for years and years, decades, all the alleged things that were going on. Now they're saying, we want it all. We want it all out to the public. We've heard this before. We've heard this story. Well, now maybe this is a little change. Maybe they're really serious this time. It seems like they are, because they're pissed. I'm telling you, from people that I know who have spoke to congressional people behind the scenes, they are not happy with the lack of information that they're getting. That's why they revised the Whistleblower Act to try to get more to come forward, more protections, but we'll see how that rolls out. Yes, the Department of Energy, Charles, exactly, because they're the ones with the nuclear part of it. But, so they're saying the history, we want it all. And I said this last night, and I truly believe this is how it's going to roll out. If disclosure is to happen, as long as it takes years from now, whatever, they're going to blame. This is the beginning of it. This is setting it up, the foundation of it to set it up for the future. We are not responsible for what past administrations and past individuals did to prevent the American public from knowing the truth. That is not something that is in our control currently. It's something that was done in the past, and we apologize for whatever happened back then. Because they're going to say we're going to move forward, and from this point on, we're going to be more transparent, or try to be as transparent as possible regarding national security moving forward. This way, they can say, well, that wasn't us that did that shit in the past. That was under other administrations. We had no control of that. They're not here. A lot of them aren't even alive. But that was then. This is now. That's what they're going to do. That's the kind of thing so they can, I guess, try to apologize to the American public that had been lying to them for decades. Exactly. No reparations. It's the truth, though, Charles. So they're trying to I would say they're definitely trying to be slick in some of the wording here because it's setting up for the future. It really is. But this is 64 pages long. Then there is the legislation part. Legislation is necessary because credible evidence and testimony indicates. So let's just read that first thing. Credible evidence and testimony. Testimony comes from whistleblowers or other people involved. Okay? Credible evidence. What credible evidence? Where is that credible evidence? Has Schumer, Gillibrand, Rubio, and Rounds, are they privy to this credible evidence? So how did they know when they wrote this amendment that there is credible evidence? From what? From where? From who? They put that in the language. This is an amendment. So what does that tell you? They know something. And what you said, Charles, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, because of the declassification, which you got to go through to get certain things, related to classified national security information due to, in part, to exemptions under the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, as well as an overbroad interpretation of trans-classified foreign nuclear information. So are we dealing with our allies? What do they know? You know they know a lot. I'm telling you, UK, New Zealand, Australia, United States, Canada. The Five Eyes. They're working together. Anyway, legislation is necessary because Section 552 of Title V United States Code, the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, as implemented by the executive branch of the federal government, has proven inadequate in achieving the timely public disclosure of government unidentified anomalous phenomena records that are subject to mandatory declassification review. So legislation is needed to revise that. They're trying to get the information any fucking way they can because they're not getting it. That's what this is all about. They're trying to find other ways to get this information. Remember what I said. This is bipartisan. This is not Democrat versus Republican. This is not a partisan issue. They are working together on this. Because both can agree this can be a national security risk, threat. However they come about it, from whatever angle they're coming from, they both agree that this has to be further investigated and legislation has to be done, all that. For whatever reasons they individually have. That means nothing to me. The main thing is that they're working together in a bipartisan way. Uh-oh. What is that? Sounds like something's rolling. That's a plane. Thought it was thunder or somebody coming down my driveway with a cart. Anyway, proper oversight. See, here we go with the executive, legislative branches, Congress, President. Legislation is necessary to restore proper oversight over UAP records by elected officials in both the executive and legislative branches of the federal government that has otherwise been lacking as of the enactment of this act. There it is. Lack of information. Congress ain't getting it. It says it right there. And the president is going to get it. You ask them in the presidents, what do you know? They probably know more than they say. But how much do they really know? It's like a need to know thing. And this is, like I said, we're only on page 3. This is 64 pages long. So for the furtherance of comprehensive open science, technological research, and development of essential to avoiding or mitigating potential technological surprise in furtherance of urgent national security concerns. So in other words, what they're saying, we don't want to be surprised by any sudden technology that's appearing without looking into this further scientifically, technologically. We need to know what the hell we're dealing with here. It can't be a surprise. Like, okay, this is what we did. No. That's what they're saying. We need to look into this more. But it's always about the money. Because this is actually a fiscal act amendment for 2024. They want more funding to go into this. So if that's the case, who's going to pass it in Congress, both in the House and the Senate? If there's a bipartisan agreement on this, I don't think we're going to hear infighting talking about the money that's being thrown around to fund this. Because they're both pissed. Both parties are pissed. The majority of them. That's all you need is the majority. Okay, that's records. And now they're going into terms. So there's a lot here. This is just terminology. Non-human intelligence. The term non-human AI, the AI is going to come involved here too. The term non-human intelligence means any sentient, intelligent, non-human life form, regardless of nature or ultimate origin, that may be presumed responsible for UAPs or of which the federal government has become aware. So that's a very broad description. Regardless of nature or ultimate origin. Ultimate origin. So we're not just talking human-made. Ultimate origin can be something else. That's broad. The language is broad there for a reason. They're not using adversarial. They're very broad on that. It's always about the money, Charles. It's always about the money. It's always about the money. Everything's always about the money. You have to understand that. No, I think you're wrong, Charles. I don't think they're gonna spite this budget, because one thing, this is part of the defense, Department of Defense. A lot of them, and I've heard this from a person that's working with them. This is definitely majority of, it's bipartisan all the way. I was told that months ago. Months ago by somebody who's talking to, advising. Anyway, okay, this is all terminology. Technologies of unknown origin means any materials or metamaterials, ejecta, crash debris, mechanisms, machinery, equipment, assemblies or subassemblies, engineering models or processes, damaged or intact aerospace vehicles, and damaged or intact ocean surface and undersea craft associated with UAPs, or incorporating science and technology that lacks prosaic attribution or known means of human manufacture. Known means of human manufacture. So somebody, and it had to be Grush, somebody's talking in these hearings behind closed doors and saying, listen, and that's why Chris Mellon said about, this has nothing really to do about testimony about that. This has to do about craft that we may have in our possession. That's where they're steering it. That's what that's about. Somebody is definitely talking that we have it. Now, I'm not saying it's extraterrestrial, interdimensional, time travel. All I know is they're saying that we have possession of this technology, of these craft or probes or drones or whatever the hell it is. But they're pretty convinced. Congress is pretty convinced. So remember, Rubio's in on this, Schumer's in on this, Gillibrand and Rounds. And then you got the hearing tomorrow by Luna and Burchett. The Senate and the House are involved. This is just the beginning. But they got to get this legislation through, which I think they will. Again, a lot of this is terminology. You know, I guess a lot of people. And then in general, the term UAP means any object operating or judged capable of operating in outer space, the atmosphere, ocean surfaces, or undersea, lacking prosaic attribution due to performance characteristics and properties not previously known to be achievable based upon commonly accepted physical principles. They are differentiated from both attribute and temporary non-attributed objects by one of the more of the following observables: instantaneous acceleration absent apparent inertia, hypersonic velocity, which we have that capability, absent of thermal signature, a heat source, and sonic shockwave, boom. Transmediums such as space to ground and air to undersea travel. So it's going from the air into the ocean, from space to the ground, vice versa. These things are just going crazy all over the place. So you see what it says. Air to undersea travel. Air submerging into the oceans. And this is a fucking amendment bill that's being written with this language. Multispectral signature control, physical or invasive biological effects to close observers and the environment, flying discs. Look at that. I can't believe this is actually in this language is in this amendment. The term unidentified, UAP includes what were previously described as flying discs, flying saucers, UAP, unidentified UFOs, USOs. That's it. That's it right there. They're not even hinting that it's possible. They never used to say extraterrestrial connection. It was always adversarial, meaning China, Russia. They're trying to make you think that they're opening the door now. The door has been opened now with this amendment. And like I said, we're only on page 11 of 64. And I don't want to be here all day going over every little fine detail. But there's a lot here. If people read it for themselves, there's a lot here. And I hear it all the time. You know, when are we going to find out? This is the problem, the transparency part. This is ultra classified. Congress isn't even privy to seeing some of this classified documents because they don't have clearance to see these documents or anything else related to. So they're being denied to see it because, well, Madam Congresswoman, do you have classification to see the documents you're about to see? What's your classification level? Oh, sorry. It doesn't fit the criteria needed to view these documents. What? Like what? I'm still trying to wonder if that's planes, but there's some bad thunderstorms on the way, so I'm a little on. That's thunder. That's thunder. I knew it. I didn't think it was a plane rumbling. This is a bad thunderstorm. I just hope it doesn't hit me. So again, okay, this is a little important here. The term UAP record means a record that is related to unidentified and anomalous phenomena, technologies of unknown origin, or non-human intelligence, and all equivalent subjects by any other name, with the specific and sole exclusion of temporarily non-attributed objects that was created or made available for use by, obtained by, or otherwise came into possession of the President, Department of Defense, Department of War, Department of the Navy, Department of the Army, Air Force, Office of Special Investigations. It's hitting all of them. Department of Energy. Look at this. DNI, CIA, National Reconnaissance, again, DIA, NSA, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. They're going through them all. FBI, FAA, NASA. Everybody's on the list. NOAA. Everything's on the list. And then they talk about the timing, when they want this available, released, no later than 60 days, blah, 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 blah. So this gets into the details, how they want to roll it out and present it. They want everything regardless of age or date of creation. So this is going to go way back in time. This is pretty much like how they're going to set it up, organize it, how it's going to roll out, use of funds. This is important. The National Security Program Office at the National Archives, in consultation with the National Archives Information Security Oversight Office, shall establish a program to ensure the security of the postponed UAP records in the protected and yet to be disclosed or classification portion of the collection. And here's the oversight. What the Senate, what the House, they're not playing. They don't want nothing to be redacted. No UAP phenomena record created by a person or entity outside the federal government, excluding names, shall be withheld, redacted, postponed for public disclosure, or reclassified. During the review by the heads of government offices on the subsection, each head of the government shall retain custody of the UAP records of the Office for President. Okay. So there's like I said, there's a lot here. I wonder if there's a summary at the end of this. Let's go all the way to the bottom. There's a lot here. It's 64 pages. It's a lot. Oh my God. Where's a disclosure to the public? In general, 300, no later than 300 days after the date of the enactment of this act, each head of the government shall review, identify, and organize each UAP phenomenal record in the custody or possession of the office for disclosure to the public. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. So you can. I'm gonna have to get off soon because I'm a little worried with this weather. The storms are getting closer. I gotta look at my radar. No unidentified records, whatever, shall be destroyed, altered, or mutilated in any way. Okay. Oh shit. Unless otherwise determined by the Select Committee on Intelligence of the Senate, the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs of the Senate shall have continuing legislative oversight jurisdiction in the Senate with respect to the collection of materials gathered. They're not playing fucking games. They are not playing games with this. And remember what I said at the beginning, because politics plays a big part in everything that goes on in everyday life. But look at you got to remember the names attached to this amendment, because of the support that they have either in the Senate or in the House. Schumer, Rounds, Schumer Democrat, Rounds Republican, Rubio Republican, Gillibrand Democrat. It's 2-2. So this is going to be interesting to say the least. So, like I said, tomorrow's hearing is going to be interesting. I'm not expecting a lot. I am curious to see what really Grush has to say. I've heard all this stuff before, but what Mellon said last night on Cuomo's show was that he's got something new to tell the public that he has not disclosed yet. That caught my attention. And then you have to look at this, because this, I've heard about it before because they have no oversight. So Department of Energy Black Program, no oversight by Congress. And the drive, which I love, the U.S. government hides some of its dark secrets in the Department of Energy. There's no oversight. They got exemptions. There's no oversight by Congress. So you can only imagine what they're fucking doing. Now, this is an older article. I really recommend the drive. It has great articles. But this is, I'll put this link if you guys are interested in reading about it later, both in Trovo and YouTube. I'm putting them in the chats now. It's not new. Look what it says here. Over the last few years, allegations of secret exotic technologies have reinvigorated claims that the DoD may be concealing scientific breakthroughs from the American public. So this is not new. By any means is this new. It's been rumored to be going on for so long. But now it's getting, thank you.
You want soda?
Please.
All right.
But now it's getting the attention. Now it's starting to get the attention. And I can't imagine what this can of worms is going to open Pandora's box when they start digging into the Department of Energy. And trying to get information. That's probably one of the biggest things where they're not getting the information from and they're pissed. From the Department of Energy. That's why they want to create that amendment and pass legislation to say, screw that. We want to know. We want oversight. We want to know what the hell you're doing with these black projects. It's so many contractors involved, government contractors, Charles. The list is extensive. It's pick one, pick 5, pick 10. The number goes on. This is going to, if they really, because remember, this is going to set a lot of shit in motion. They're going to be some lines that are crossed. Lines that existed that were never crossed before, but they're about to get crossed now. Maybe. If they're really determined to go with this. There's going to be lines drawn, and there's no going back once certain things fall into place. The shit's going to hit the fan. It's going to hit the fan. Because if they start digging into this, if they start getting, and the black projects, so there's no oversight. So where are they getting the money? Where are they getting the funding? Are they using their own money to fund it? But they get money from the government. So DOE has its own classification system and policies, some of which are even classified themselves. The highest level of these DOE secret clearance is the Q clearance, equivalent to a top secret clearance in the DOD. That doesn't mean that anyone with a Q clearance can access all classified information overseen by DOE. According to its personnel security page, for access to some classified information, such as sensitive compartmented information or special access programs, additional requirements or special conditions may be imposed by the information owner, even if the person is otherwise eligible to be granted a security clearance to see them. So what the fuck is that about? It's like, so exactly. There's a lot of stuff here that, and this is what Grush was touching on. And that must have unnerved a lot of people. And you don't think it takes courage for somebody to come forward and start talking like that? Because he must have security detail on him like crazy. Yeah, you know there's going to be people out to get him. Or discredit him as much as they can. But this guy might be really vetted and might be the real deal, where this is different from the past. Exactly, $1,000 hammer. What's up, C? So again, if you do, okay, look at this little tidbit at the bottom here. We've seen this happen repeatedly. So, for example, the size of the U.S. nuclear arsenal was declassified most recently in 2017. We asked for the number of weapons to be updated in 2018 and 19, and the Department of Energy was willing to do so. But the Department of Defense blocked the disclosure. That's that whole FOIA shit too. Freedom of Information Act. And there's that foreign energy matters that was mentioned in the amendment. So this is connecting the dots. It is definitely connecting the dots. And I put the link of this so you guys can read it. It's extensive. I mean, this would take quite some time to break it all down. But the links are in the chat. You can look at it if you want on your own time. But look at this. This thing goes on. And the great thing about this is there are links to other aspects of it that are highlighted. As I love the drive. You see budget requests. That's 2021. American Nuclear Project on Government Secrecy takes you to there. So you can go crazy. It's giving you the links. Holy shit. I may lose power. We need to stop this for a second. But I put the links in chat. You guys can check it out yourselves. Salt treaties are pretty much dead. They're dead. So that's the great thing about this. It opens up further links. This storm is getting really bad. DOE has its own classification. Look at this. Takes you right to it. So this is a good starting point for people if they want to, just based on that one link that I provided, it opens up. They're very thorough. It takes you to different areas talking about things here. And that's what I love about it. Naval nuclear propulsion. Interesting. What is that all about? Are they saying that's a nuclear engine? Is that what they're saying? The Navy is prolific user of nuclear power and needs to protect nuclear material while traveling on rail. Oh, okay. That's where this armored caboose comes in. Nuclear material and an armored caboose. Interesting. I didn't even know that. So again, what is this? It's amazing that it opens up all these portals. Just one little article. The drive. And now you can see a lot of articles are starting to pop out. That's the drive. The drive was on it a while back. Oversight Bureau. What Oversight Bureau? So, like I said, that's pretty much what's going on right now. I need to look at my radar like right away. 'Cause that was pretty vicious a second ago, but I don't know where these storms are. Oh shit, it's right on my door. Okay, that's south. The storm we're hearing is to the north and west of me. That's what we've been hearing. Almost like in Q, the lightning bolt struck, and that's 5 minutes ago though, or 3 minutes ago. So this is what's coming toward me right now. This is moving northeast. So this storm is going to miss me. So is this one. I'm worried more about what develops right here and heads my way. And you can see it on the radar. It's moving northeast. So that, what we're hearing, is not going to affect me. But these storms are just developing. This is the one I got to watch. Because this one might get to me. Might slide to my south and east. But it's stormy out there, boy. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. They're getting some really bad storms coming into New York City right now. Jersey's getting slammed. This is heading right to the 5 boroughs. They're about to get nailed. Oh, they're about to get nailed. Big time. I bet you if we went to EarthCam, New York City, Times Square, oh shit, I can't even type. EarthCam, Times Square. Better yet, let's not do Times Square. EarthCam, New York City. So maybe we can get a higher vantage point. Times Square, New York Skyline Cam. It's got to be getting active. Oh, hell yeah. The storms are about to move in. There you go. That's going to get pretty interesting in the next few minutes. We don't even need my camera. We could just look at this one. It's about to get ugly in New York City with the weather. Again, how do we know? Just look at the radar. Let's see. See how it's getting dark? These storms right here, purple's in there, hail, is heading right to New York City. That line is heading right to New York City right now. This loop is 440. No, that's, what am I saying? 305. 5 minutes ago. And New York City, well, you're looking at about right here is where World Trade 1 is. So that shit is heading right there. So that camera is about to detect. Hopefully, I don't want to say hopefully, but we should see. Actually, that image looks frozen. That image looks frozen. Does it not? That water's not moving whatsoever. That is a photo thing. Wow, look at that. That's looking south because that's the Tappan Zee Bridge here. This is the ferry that goes to Staten Island. Wow, that's the storm rolling in. Look at that. Helicopters are bailing out. They're all on the move. Look at that fucking storm coming into the city. There's the Statue of Liberty. Like I said, the Verrazano Bridge, Staten Island, Ellis Island. I'm a New Yorker. I better know this shit. And Jersey's off to the right. But we're going to keep this on the screen while I eat my brunch / whatever. Let me get my camera off. I don't think there's any sound associated to the camera. But we should definitely be seeing. Yeah, I don't think there's any sound. The wind is picking up for sure. You can hear the thunder in the background where I am. I'm about 85 miles north of the city. It's getting windy here. That's pretty cool to look at. Look at that. It almost looks like Independence Day when the when the craft is coming into the atmosphere and gonna go over New York City. It almost looks like that. If anybody's seen the movie Independence Day. I have to leave my house in a half hour to go to Walmart. So I gotta be careful. Now remember what the hell that was that? Xbox in the background. Now remember, this is a really intense line of storms. It's raining here now. Approaching the city. And I'm curious to see how they handle all these ferries if they stop them while this storm line is coming through. I would assume they're trying to get them in now to dock for safety reasons, because this has gusty winds, hail, everything. Let's see the traffic on the Hudson diminish because of this storm. True story. In 1988, I was on my father's boat. It was a 34-footer. cabin cruiser, double deck flybridge. We were anchored, I would say, right about here. A lot of boats were anchored during the 4th of July celebration. It was the 100th birthday for Statue of Liberty. There were so many boats anchored here that when it was all over, when the fireworks display, because at that time they had the fireworks on barges on the Hudson, and it was amazing. It was amazing experience because you could feel the energy from the concussions of the fireworks because you're right there. It was so awesome. But going home was the absolute nightmare that I'll never forget for the rest of my life because it was traumatic. It was very scary because I honestly thought we were going to flip over and it could have got ugly. And people died on the water that night. In accidents, boating accidents. And I'll never forget that experience. And when I see this image, it reminds me of it. Because that's exactly where we were anchored to watch the fireworks for the statue. It was, I think, 1988. The 100th. Now, obviously, it's thundering here, but you could even see the rain underneath it. Can you see it? See the rain? Right in there. That's all rain. As it's approaching the city. Wow. Notice the boat traffic is diminishing, right? You know what's funny? You're always going to have an idiot that is going to try to write it out or be stupid and be taking risks. That happens all the time. This is definitely not the time to be out on the water. I don't know if that's a circle line, but that needs to get into a dock quick. That is the Staten Island ferry coming in. They usually travel, because I used to take it all the time, every half hour in peak hours. That ferry goes back and forth from the Battery of Manhattan to Staten Island every half hour. Uh-oh, drops are hitting the camera. Now, the barges, there's nothing you're going to do with the barges. The barges are going to continue going. But that's the last ferry for right now. There ain't going to be no more ferries until the storm gets through. That's actually a really cool ride. I mean, I used to do it all the time, so it was kind of retarded, boring after a while. But if you've never gone on the Staten Island ferry, and if you go to New York, you should definitely, as a tourist, take the trip on it. Take the trip. It's actually worth it. And you can bring your car on it. I've done that a lot. Hundreds of times. Why? Because my brother was hospitalized in Staten Island in a nursing home, and I had to go there like all the time to see him from the Bronx. So the ferry was the way I used to go. I didn't take the Tappan Zee Bridge, or not Tappan, Verrazano. I just take the ferry. It's about to get crazy rain right now soon. But did you see how much the traffic has diminished on the water? Big time. And it looks like there's a sailboat trying to race back to the marina, and he's trying to beat out this storm. I don't know if that's a sailboat with the mast down, but it's not looking good for that vessel right now. It's hard to tell what that is, but it looks like a sail. See how they all are going into the dock? You don't see much travel now in the water. The barge is fine. The momentum of the weight of that barge, it's hard for him to even stop. And he should be fine. He's in a tugboat. But look how quick it changed. There's nobody on the water now. Here comes that rain. And the wind. The frontal winds of the storm. And that camera's at definitely a good altitude. The weather for the Bronx should be nice this weekend. That's it. They're going to get the heavy rain now. It's raining here too. As you can hear it, I think, in the background. So here, it's raining. There's no way I'm going out now. Hell no. So this whole line is affecting from upstate New York down to the city, probably to Jersey, as it's pushing northeast. So I'm getting part of that line right now. But I'm in the weak part. Thank God. This is not a bad... It's to my north, it's to the south. But for here, it's not so bad. And now it's pretty hard to see anything on the screen because of the weather. The camera's getting... You could still see the lightning if we... any activity. I want to see where these storms are now. Shit. And this is what's been causing the flooding rains, because they just stand in one area. They don't move fast. The storm hasn't even affected New York City yet. This radar is from 4 minutes ago. It's just entering the the Battery, where Manhattan is, Statue of Liberty. It's just now starting to get into the city. This line. Look at that. Look at all that. Look at this activity. Look at back there. Oh my God. So up here, where I am, this is the thunder we're hearing right now. To my north. This cell. And the rain is here. I'm gonna get all this rain now. All this rain is coming my way, and these storms could get stronger. All this shit is heading my way. So there is from flooding, freaking rain gonna happen here now. We're gonna get the flooding rain. The city's getting the storms. Look at that. Holy shit. Here it goes. It's approaching the city. Let me take my camera off. Wow. I know it's just a thunderstorm, but I love weather. I'm gonna shut up talking, and I'm gonna put the mic up so you can hear the rain from here at least. In a way, this is a safe way to observe lightning. You don't want to be out there. Yeah, the Omega is great. I love Omega. It's pouring here. Pouring. Getting a little dicey here now. It's getting a little dicey. I gotta put my mic all the way up and shut up. Whoa. Cloud to ground lightning. It's raining as hard in New York City as it is up here. PPP time. Listen to the rain here. Holy shit, that was close. It's getting crazy here. Oh, it's crazy on the screen in New York City. And Taika don't care. He's not scared of it at all. He's right here by the door. It is pouring here. I wonder what my driveway looks like. And I got those bags on the driveway. I'm putting my headphones down. And I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm going outside. I gotta look at my driveway, but I'm not going when that lightning's like that. I'll wait till it comes down a little. But I want to see how my driveway is. By the looks of it, it's working. Because I'm not seeing no water in front of the house. It's cooling down big time. I'm going outside. But before I do, I don't know if anybody's ever seen an umbrella like this. It's an LED umbrella. I bought it and I never put it together. So I'm gonna try right now. I have no idea how to do it. It's brand new. No instructions. Oh, tell me it's not broke. I wonder how the fuck this goes. These are batteries. I'm thinking I have to take that screw out. Has to be the screw. So let's get a screwdriver. How the fuck do you do this? I guess it just hits that contact. These batteries don't look good. So I had it laying too long. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make no sense. At all. Can't be. Well, we just lost the battery. Maybe the battery goes inside there. They do. All fucking three. That's how it works. Now we gotta find the missing battery. and I know it rolled somewhere. There it is. That's if the batteries are good. No guarantee they are. Which that means I'm going to the store to buy some. Not right now. But the batteries are no good. Yeah, they're no good. This umbrella would light up. Now maybe if I scratch them. That one's clean. That one's clean. I think this is the bad one. I don't think it's gonna work. Could be upside down too, so. We'll try both ways. Shit, it's working. It just lit up. Scratching the fucking batteries worked. Ain't that something? Come on. Oh shit, it's blinking. Batteries are dead. Batteries are dead though. So it lights up. It's pretty cool actually. You can see it in the dark. See it, it lights up. Not bad. This is pretty freaking cool. Now I'm going to go outside to look at my driveway. Storm is over there. Working perfectly. Nice. Water is being diverted perfectly. We need to go to Walmart now in the rain. Later, Mitchie. Genghis. Yeah, I actually did the. There's not much going now with New York City. It's over pretty much there. Tycho's getting in on the action now. Mr. Curious is wondering who went outside. I did. That's who. He's right here. He is not afraid of lightning, thunder at all. He's not afraid of it. I saw when I was in Arizona, Marianne's dog had the fear of death, shaking, freaking out over the fireworks sound. I can't believe I fixed that umbrella. It's brand new. I never used it. The batteries, it's been laying around for like 2 years. I never used it. So I gotta get batteries for it. But he don't care. Look at him. He couldn't care less. Nani ka Baku? Baku? Nanu? Tycho. What are you doing? See, I could get his attention. He will pay attention to me. My baby. Kavaki. What? You're not going outside. No, it's raining. Don't go there. Get away from me. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I shouldn't open my mouth. Now I'm dead. Oh my God. Let's get rid of EarthCam because I actually have to go out. I do. Let's look at this radar now. How bad is it going to be for me? Actually, there's a cell to my south, but after that, it's just rain and it's going to be ending soon. It's over. I'm not seeing no messages from Walmart though. It's not working, dude. Keeps trying to send me a file for tomorrow's show. It's not working. Let's try this one. This one's working. I wonder how long it is. How big is it? Oh, I could do it. Let me throw this in the show for tomorrow. Kirk Cameron, the actor, is going to be on Search Warrant tomorrow. Remember Kirk Cameron? Growing Pains? He's going to be on. Okay. This is garbage. Let me load this video in. Good. It's gonna work. That's the one to my south. Yeah, 2 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. You can see it on Rumble. Look for KGRA. He's gonna be the guest on Search Warrant. I remember that TV show too. Yeah, the Storms are losing their kick up here, up north. It's really not bad at all. Okay, good. That's done. Let's look at the latest radar. I got to get out of here because I got a show at 7. So I got to be there early. Then I'm off tonight. MUFON returns the first Tuesday in August. Oh shit, I was supposed to call him back. So this is the radar right now. That happens. That's the line. They're getting some nasty storms down there, boy. Jersey just got hit. There's another nasty lines down here. Heading toward Philly. Well, actually, no, they're heading northeast. Should miss Philly, maybe. Yep. Yep, they're heading more north. See, they're showing it being over with here. Futurecast. Done deal. It's done here. And then it all moves east and north. So that's good. And I know C was asking this question about the weather for the weekend. There's a severe thunderstorm watch till 8, but this is the line. It's over. The heat comes tomorrow. Thursday, Friday. There's the heat coming back. Thursday, again, the same routine. Heavy thunderstorms. And it's going to be humid, so even though it's 90, it's going to feel like 100. That's why there's a heat alert. Heat on this. 100 to 104 it's going to feel like. With the humidity. Thursday. Thursday's dangerous. Where's my mouse not working? Sometimes I get confused with all these monitors. And then Sunday is the shift, the cool down. That's when we finally get a break from all this heat and rain and insanity. Relief from heat and humidity, Sunday. This is when the weather changes back to more normal. And this is going to be a bad day of weather Saturday. Why? Because you've got the heat and the cold front coming in, where we will probably have severe storms on Saturday. I don't care where you are in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, whatever. When that cold front comes through eventually after this heat, we're all going to get it. We are all going to get it Saturday evening. No doubt about it. So, prepare. Those in the Northeast, New England, prepare Saturday. Saturday is going to be the day that you need to watch. Because it could be. Now I fell asleep in the pool again yesterday, so I'm getting darker and darker. Look at this. Look at that. That's what I normally look like. I won't show the legs. But that's how tan I am from falling asleep in the pool. Not good. It's like, what do you imagine if I was in a dark room and I open up my eyes? That's what you're gonna see. Because I got so dark. Oh my god. So I am going to take that trip to Walmart now. But I'm one step closer for the Native American thing, Marco. Yeah. And I can't really show it on the camera, but you might be able to see it from the back of the page. I don't know if you could see the seal. See that? The stamp. The seal is stamped in there too, but you can't see it. I got my Native American stuff notarized today. This morning. So that's ready. Now I gotta take my passport photo Wednesday. Next week. And then I mail it out. So all the paperwork is getting done. I'm not playing shit. I can't do it while I'm in the house with Mom. She can't hear that conversation. Yeah, so I'm going to venture out. I need to go to Walmart. But it's a pickup order. But I'm a little confused why I haven't gotten the email. Walmart. Just, oh God, please tell me I didn't. Oh, thank God. It says 4 to 5. It's 4 now. By the time I get there, I'm going to take you all for the ride too. Because I'm going in my Crocs. I'm not getting out of the car. Oh, yes, I do, but to pack it up. I'm going to end this stream and start another one on my phone. Driving to Walmart. Because I don't have to get out of... Well, I have to get a car to put this stuff in, but it's a pickup. It's not a going to the store deal. I don't know where my phone is, though. It's charging. So, we're going to do that right now. Damn, my phone's only at 67%. So we're going to end one stream and start a new one on the phone. Go live. I'm not going to put a title to it. So we're officially ending this stream.